Hey everybody, welcome back. This is Steve Cooper, food app critic for Tokemag.com. I have a new 99-cent app for you this week. It is called Substitutions. So what it basically is a list of over 400 ingredients and some other things, and substitutions for those ingredients. It's very basic. You open the app and it has a list: alcohol, baking and cooking, dairy, gluten-free, herbs and spices, and so forth. You click on one of these and it just goes through a scrolling list of options for you, and it will give you an ingredient, for example, dark corn syrup. And underneath the ingredient, it will tell you 3/4 cup corn syrup, a 1/4 cup of molasses. Helpful, right? But some things in this app are not as useful as that little bit of information. So for example, I was looking up a substitution for applesauce, and it recommended like a variety of different apples, which is like, well, if I had those apples, I could make my applesauce. I don't need, I don't need that very obvious information. Another thing is within the gluten-free category, it gives the things within the gluten-free category are the substitutions. They're not. You don't look up flour within there, and it shows you what you could use instead. It just gives you a variety of things, corn flour, chickpea flour, and so it doesn't really do what you would hope it would do there for you. Now, the other thing about this app is there's no real information, there's no pictures, there's no recipes. So in that regard, it's not that helpful. Also, a couple of the descriptions that it gives are, I guess the best way to put it, poorly written, and they don't make very much sense. I give a very specific example of this in my written review on Tokemag.com. So overall, let me talk about the navigation a little bit too here. So if I click in any of these categories, some of them have more items than others, anywhere between 25 to over 75. And that, 25 not bad to scroll through it, but 75, that's a pretty large list. It's listed alphabetically, but the problem is you can't jump down, so you have to like really zip that thing top and bottom to move yourself around in the app. But if you get into all of the substitutions that it lists in this app, you can scrub along the right or left hand, or I'm sorry, the right hand side of the app. Why not just include that throughout? One nice thing, I don't want to beat this thing up too bad. One nice thing is if you do have a substitution that you use frequently, right, you can click on that substitution and it will jump back to that spot almost as if you're bookmarking it for later use in the future. But, the substitutions themselves are pretty iffy. So, if I want to substitute guacamole, for example, it'll recommend salsa. Personally, as a Southern California person, I love salsa, I love guacamole. They are not the same thing. I would have liked a lot more creative response than that. And again, because it doesn't give you a reason why you would substitute one for the other, it doesn't really put it into context for you. And that is a big problem with this app. There was another instance where, as a substitution for basil, it recommends, I believe, thyme and oregano in the herbs and spices category, which may or may not work depending on what you're trying to pull off. But for example, if you're trying to create a caprese salad, you know, thyme and oregano is not going to cut it for your basil in that instance. So you really need a little more depth to make this truly a useful app. And so because of that, I find I probably would not give up real estate space on my phone, especially considering I have so many food apps on my phone, and that this doesn't do anything better than just a straight web search. I could ask Siri on my iPhone, questions and get the answer faster than I could using this app, I feel. And if I do get the answer from this app, I don't know that I fully trust it, which may be even a deeper issue with this app. So there is some value, minuscule value to this app, but nothing I would rush out to spend 99 cents on. And for that reason, I give it a 2.5 out of 5. So if you have used this app, let me know what you think. Leave a comment below. And check back soon for another app review. Take care, everybody.